Hi guys! So for today's writing, we're going to be starting a new kind of writing. So in the past we were doing opinion writing. Now we're moving on to writing about something called realistic fiction. So realistic fiction writing means that it could happen in real life, but it didn't happen in real life. So you wouldn't be using any kind of fantasy things or imaginary things because it has to be able to happen in real life even though it didn't happen. So let's go ahead and look at this chart together. So it says realistic fiction, a story using made-up characters but could happen in real life. And let's go ahead and look at those bullet points. Could actually happen. Story has a believable problem. So that means whatever problem they're having, whatever trouble they're having could happen in real life. So say I'm going to write a story about my character. My character's going to Big C and oh no, their motorbike breaks down and they can't get to Big C. That's a problem. But it's also a problem that could happen in real life. All right, let's look at the next one. It says, the pictures match the story. So whatever pictures you're drawing at the top need to match the words that are happening that you're writing about. All right, and then it says, the setting is real. So where they're at is a real place, or it could be a real place, like a park. That's a real place. And then the last one is, the author is writing about the characters. So it's not about my life. It's not about me. I'm not telling a story about myself. I have a character and I'm writing about that character. All right, so I have a short video for you to watch that might be able to help explain it a little bit more. So let's go ahead and watch this short video.
Realistic Fiction Writing for Kids. Episode 1. What is it? Realistic fiction is a genre or type of writing. Realistic means that something seems real. Fiction means stories that are not real. So realistic fiction is a type of writing that seems like it could be real, but it isn't. The things that happen in the story could really happen though. In realistic fiction stories, the characters seem like they could be real people or animals, but they usually aren't. That means no vampires or superheroes, just regular people. The same is true for the setting. A realistic fiction story wouldn't take place on the moon because that's not realistic. It may take place in a park or at a school. The events that happen in the story are also realistic. The problems that the characters face are real problems that could really happen to real people. So when we write realistic fiction, we use our imagination to create stories that haven't actually happened, but they could. Are you ready to start writing your own realistic fiction story?
All right, well, hopefully that video was very helpful for you. If it wasn't or you missed something, go ahead and try watching it again. So, you might want to ask, Miss Amanda, well, now I know these things, how am I going to go ahead and start writing a realistic fiction story for myself? Well, let's go ahead and look at this for some help. So it says, first, we're just going to think of a pretend character. And there are some things we can use to help us think of our character. Well, we need to give our character a name. We can imagine a place our character would want to be at. We can imagine the trouble that our character is going to get into. What are they going to do that's going to cause a problem that we can help solve throughout our story? All right, so we're going to watch another quick video, and it's going to help us get our brains thinking about how and what are we going to write about today for our realistic fiction.
Realistic Fiction Writing for Kids. Episode 2. Brainstorming. Now that you know what realistic fiction is, you can start brainstorming ideas for your story. Brainstorming just means thinking of different ideas. We will brainstorm the most important parts of the story, the characters, the setting, the problem, and the solution. Then we will add more details when we actually start writing the story later. So first, I need to think about the main character in my story. Characters are the people and animals in a story. Remember, the characters should be realistic. Sometimes it helps to make the character kind of like yourself. I think I will write about a little girl and her dog. I will name them Mary and Sam. Next, I need to decide on a setting. The setting is where and when the story takes place. It has to be realistic, though. I think I want to make my story take place outside on a snowy day. Now I need to think of a problem. What could really happen to a little girl and her dog on a snowy day? Ooh, maybe Mary slips on the ice and Sam gets loose. That would definitely be a problem. Finally, I need a solution to the problem. How will that problem be solved in the end? Maybe a stranger will see Sam and he'll lure him with a piece of food from his grocery bag. And then Mary and Sam can go home to be warm and safe. Wow, I think this is going to be a great story.
All right, so now we have a lot of ideas about what realistic fiction looks like and what is expected when we are writing a story that is realistic fiction. So now it's your turn. I want to see what kind of stories can you give to your teachers. And remember, while you're writing, it has to be realistic fiction, which means that it has to be something that could happen in real life. So your characters, your setting, your events, the things that happen in your story, all need to be things that could happen in real life, even though it didn't happen in real life. So you can do it, grade 1. I believe in you. You're so smart. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask your teachers for help.